The NHL is horrified of this, as there is one crucial aspect of the Colorado Avalanche's roster that is completely dialed and ready to rock and roll for the upcoming NHL season. And considering the fact that this aspect of the Colorado Avalanche is so tuned and ready to go for this coming season, it's going to help them have the best possible season that they can, doing well in the Central Division, doing well in the Western Conference as a whole, and trying to solidify the best possible seeding that they can for next year's Stanley Cup playoffs. And we're going to break down everything surrounding this aspect of the Colorado Avalanche and why it's so crucial that it's ready to go for the start of the season right here today on Avalanche Digest. Welcome in, everybody. So happy to be with you here today, breaking down all things Avs hockey, a team that I grew up loving and watching for my entire life. I'm so grateful to get to have this platform and to get to share my thoughts and my opinions with all of you lovely beauties who are watching and tuning in on a daily basis. Now, on that note, if you are tuning into Avs Digest and you're watching our videos on a daily basis, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. If you love hockey, if you love the Avalanche, this is the place to be. We are covering every single topic, rumor, update, news release around the Colorado Avalanche on a daily basis. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, that's 79% of you guys right there that are watching our videos on a daily basis. You're tuning in to the channel, but you're not subscribed. We would really appreciate and really love if you could exit out of the video really quickly, give us that subscribe, help us continue to grow the fastest growing up and coming channel for Colorado Avalanche news and updates. We are almost to 1,000 subscribers. You can help us reach that milestone. Without further ado, let's dive into today's topic for the Colorado Avalanche, the most dialed aspect of this roster and what's going to make the Avs feel comfortable and confident heading into this next season is the goalie tandem. Mackenzie Blackwood, the starter for the Avs, as well as Scott Wedgewood, the backup, two veteran, amazing NHL goalies. And the fact that we're heading into this NHL season with both of these starting and backup goalies respectively locked into their positions in a confident manner, the Avs can feel extremely confident about what they are going to be able to do in the NHL this coming season. Now let's fast forward back to the start of last season. Starting goalie Alexander Georgiev, backup goalie Justus Annunen. We went into that season thinking that these two guys were going to be reliable. Georgiev immediately started a dumpster fire in the net as soon as the season started, and Justus Annunen, really good goalie, really good prospect, but a little bit young, just hadn't quite clicked as far as his potential goes for playing between the pipes as a goalie. And then the Avs made two crazy trades in the former half of last season. They traded with the San Jose Sharks to get Mackenzie Blackwood, and they traded with the Nashville Predators to get Scott Wedgewood. In both of those separate deals, they sent each of those starting and backup goalies to those other teams, Georgiev to the Sharks and Annunen to the Predators, to receive the new starter Mackenzie Blackwood and the new backup Scott Wedgewood. And now these two goalies, once they came to the Colorado Avalanche, they had great success playing for the Avs throughout the rest of the season, and even Blackwood in the first round of the playoffs, despite the 7-game loss to the Dallas Stars. Now, what's so exciting about this goalie tandem is that we have both of these two guys locked in their respective spots for the start of the NHL season, which is going to be huge, that the Avs can go into this coming NHL season feeling extremely confident about goaltending, both from a starting and a backup standpoint. And with that in mind, let's take a deeper dive into both of these goalies' stats over the recent few years in the past, as well as why they're going to continue to thrive playing a full 82-game season and hopefully more in the playoffs next season. Let's start with Mackenzie Blackwood. So if you look at that 2023-24 season with the San Jose Sharks, he had 44 games with the Sharks, a 3.45 goals against average and an 8.99 save percentage. And then you look at that following season, the 2024-25 season, this is when he was traded to the Avs. So he played 19 games with the Sharks to start the season, had that perfect 3.00 goals against average and above a 900 save percentage, a 911 save percentage for Mackenzie Blackwood with one shutout as well. And then the trade sending Alexander Georgiev over to San Jose in exchange for Mackenzie Blackwood, brought him over to Colorado for 37 more games of the regular season. And he put up really strong stats playing for the Avs in that remainder of the season. 2.33 goals against average, a 9.13 save percentage, 3 shutouts in 37 games for Colorado. Was absolutely dialed between the pipes. And the fact that he was able to total in 4 shutouts, and also considering the fact that he was able to play just about 60 games across both teams, shows the longevity and the health and just the overall strength and skill level in a goalie like Mackenzie Blackwood. And the most exciting aspect about Blackwood in his game for me is just the fact that we're going to get to see him playing with Colorado for a full season. He's starting off the season, game 1. He will be wearing that burgundy and blue Avs sweater, and we'll be seeing him play for the Avs all the way throughout the season. Obviously, he won't play 82 games. He'll rotate a lot of those games with Wedgewood, the backup, who will dive into all the information around him in a second. But just so exciting that he's going to be playing all season with Colorado. It's going to really propel our team and our game to another level. Just think of all the games that we lost in the early part of last season because Alexander Georgiev could not hold his own in the net. Having a reliable starter like Mackenzie Blackwood, who has now signed a contract and will be with the Avs long-term, it's going to make a massive difference for the Avs. And then just quickly glancing at Mackenzie Blackwood's playoff experience this last year in that 7-game series against Dallas. In the 7 games, he had a 271 goals against average, a save percentage just under 900 and 892. He had a shutout in the playoffs, which is huge. But then the biggest thing that I want to touch on here with these playoff stats, this was his playoff debut. Game 1 of that series against Dallas, that was the first time he ever stepped foot on the ice in playoff format for the NHL. And so for his first ever playoff series, those are pretty darn good stats. And to also get a shutout against Dallas, that was huge. So now that he's got his feet wet as far as playoffs go and that he has that experience, a full season and then getting mixed into playoffs for Mackenzie Blackwood, that is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And then the last quick little thing about Blackwood that I think plays a really large role is he signed a contract after he got traded to Colorado last year. 5 years on this contract, $5,250,000 cap hit AAV. So he's making good money. He's one of the higher paid goalies in the league. That's going to continue to encourage him to play well and play the best that he can between the pipes for the Colorado Avalanche. Moving on now to talk about Scott Wedgewood. Take a look at the season with the Dallas Stars in 23-24, as well as the start of the season with the Predators in 24-25. So with Dallas in the 2023-24 season, played 32 games, 285 goals against average with an 8.99 save percentage. Pretty solid playing as a backup for a strong Dallas Stars team. Didn't see any action in the playoffs. If you look all the way at the top of this stat line, courtesy of Elite Prospects, he did get 3 games in the playoffs with the Stars in 2022-23. Had that 228 goals against average, but a little bit lower of a save percentage. But then you look at the stats that he had once he joined the Colorado Avalanche. Did not get a lot of playing time with the Predators last season, but he comes into Colorado. He gets 19 games under a 2.00 save percentage, or not save percentage, sorry, goals against average. A 1.99 goals against average and a 9.17 save percentage. Those are career high numbers for Scott Wedgewood. 2 shutouts as well on the season, a 13-4-1 overall record with Colorado in the remainder of the years as a backup goalie. Those are dream level numbers for what you want to be seeing from your backup goalie. And he got some experience in the playoffs as well. Obviously, it was a game where Mackenzie Blackwood wasn't shining to his full potential. He ended up, not allowing any goals, which was great, but we still lost that game. He has in his playoff time with Colorado, he has a 1.00 save percentage and no goals against average. But obviously that's because he only saw 1 period in the playoffs. But still, a veteran goalie who's been in the league for a while, who has playoff experience, now has a little bit of playoff experience with the Avs, getting him for a full season playing in that backup position. Once again, I cannot stress enough, it's going to be huge. And just the morale of him. He's such a great guy. He has such a strong work ethic, and he's so excited to be playing for the Avs as well. I personally think, I don't want to speak for Scott Wedgewood, but I think this is the happiest that he's been with a team throughout the majority of his time playing in the National Hockey League, as well as, he also suffered a minor injury at the, a little bit towards the end of last season, but he was able to overcome it and he was able to come back. He's able to finish out the rest of the season strong and even get his feet a little bit wet in the playoffs. And he also has one more year on a 2-year contract where he's making $1,500,000 average annual value a year. So he is comfortable with the money that he's making as far as his age and what his role is as the backup goalie. So just a lot of really exciting things about both of these goalies. I can't stress it enough. The fact that these two guys are coming into this roster on this Avs team for the start of the season. Last year, that former half of the season, those first 30-ish games when we had Georgiev and Anunen and it just wasn't clicking between the pipes for the Avs, that's not something that they have to worry about anymore. They've got a ridiculously talented starting goalie, Mackenzie Blackwood, who has now gotten his feet wet in all sorts of facets with the Avs. And then you have Scott Wedgewood, who's just absolutely stoked to be in that backup position. And when he comes in and he plays in that backup role, boy, does he shine as the backup goalie. So considering the fact that goaltending is dialed in for the Avs as we look ahead to this coming NHL season, that is going to be massive for the overall success of the team, what they're able to do in the Central Division and the Western Conference, and how high of a playoff seed that they're going to get. And considering now that both of these goalies have experience with the Avs and recent playoff experience, they are going to be a massive force to be reckoned with as we look ahead to the next NHL season. So excited for the storyline around these two. They get 82 full games amongst the two of them for the Avs this entire season. A start to finish Wedgewood and Blackwood lumberyard season, folks. It is going to be appointment television. Thank you very much, as usual, for tuning in to Avs Digest. Going to continue to be breaking down all things Colorado Avalanche hockey throughout the remainder of the offseason. So please join the Avs Digest community, subscribe, and stay tuned as we continue to come out with more content about the Colorado Avalanche. Cheers, everybody.